Welcome to the deep dive.
Okay, so we're diving into a pretty hefty stack of sources today, all focused on humanoid robots.
Yeah, definitely a hot topic right now.
Right. And our mission really is to pull out the key takeaways, the stuff you really need to know to get up to speed quickly, because the sources seem to agree 2025 feels like a bit of an inflection point.
Oh, absolutely. And these sources, they're not, holding back on the potential scale here. We're seeing figures like almost $80 billion by 2035.
Wow.
And maybe even, well, a $5 trillion market by 2050. It really feels less like if they'll integrate and more about how fast it's all going to happen.
That's yeah, incredible scale. All right, so how should we tackle this? Let's maybe look at who the big players are, their strategies, what technology is actually, making this possible now, where are they popping up?
Right, like the actual use cases.
Exactly. And then the timeline for maybe seeing them elsewhere, down the road, maybe even, at home. And crucially, what are the big roadblocks? What's holding things back? Sounds good. And the competitive side, the sources lay out a few different approaches, right? You've got the sort of vertically integrated titans.
Like Tesla, Figure, building it all themselves.
Yeah, pretty much. Then there are like ecosystem builders, agility, Apptronic, maybe focusing more on the hardware and partnering for the brains, the software.
Right.
You've also got specialists like Sanctuary AI really honing in on specific capabilities.
Oh, yeah. I saw.
And then these disruptors, especially coming out of China, potentially changing the game.
It's fascinating seeing those strategies reflected in the robots themselves. Like Tesla's Optimus using car tech, aiming for a lower price.
Right, leveraging what they already know.
And then you compare that to Sanctuary AI, really going deep on like super dexterous hands. The sources talk about blind picking.
Which is pretty complex, picking things up accurately without maybe perfectly seeing them, using touch.
Exactly. And delicate stuff too, like that Tesla demo with the egg, That level of fine motor control is, well, it's a big deal.
And it's not just the mechanics, is it? The sources stress. It's the AI, perception, control, learning, plus better sensors, actuators. That's what's driving this leap. Handling messier, less predictable jobs.
But okay, even with all that cool tech,
Yeah.
battery life, it keeps coming in with these sources as a major headache.
Definitely a bottleneck.
Like 2 to 5 hours operating time, that's not a full workday.
Not even close for most applications. Though we are seeing solutions pop up, like Apptronic's Apollo. They're apparently aiming for a 22-hour workday using hot swappable batteries. So you just swap them out quickly. Keeps the robot going.
Okay. That makes sense. And I guess that battery issue plus the cost is why we're seeing them deployed where we are now, right? According to the sources.
Exactly. It's mainly manufacturing. You mentioned BMW using Figure, Mercedes with Apptronic. These are pilot programs. And logistics. Warehouses, Amazon testing Agility's Digit.
Why those places first?
Well, they're structured environments, predictable tasks mostly, and frankly, big labor shortages in those sectors make them keen to try things out. The current limits aren't quite as crippling there.
So the factory floor is the starting point. When do the sources suggest they might graduate, I guess? Move beyond that?
Well, the consensus seems to be broader commercial use, maybe helping out in healthcare settings, or retail that's probably more in the 2030s.
So still a ways off.
Yeah. And the domestic dream, a robot in every home, that seems, based on this material, pretty distant. Likely post-2040 for any kind of mass market thing.
But why so long for the home? Is it just cost?
Cost is huge, yeah. We're talking $100, $250K, maybe more now. Needs to be under $30K probably for you or me to buy one.
Right.
But it's also safety. Homes are chaotic, unpredictable, way harder than a factory floor. And the sources point out this, like critical void in safety rules for robots working right next to people.
That's a big one.
Yeah. Plus, just managing expectations, what people think robots can do versus the reality today. They mentioned the Figure BMW pilot learning curve there, how people and robots actually get along.
So it really hammers home that idea from the sources. The factory isn't just step one, it's the essential classroom.
That's a great way to put it, yeah. It's where they have to learn the skills, get reliable, get tough enough before they can even think about dealing with, your messy living room or a busy hospital.
Okay, makes sense.
And beyond the hardware and safety stuff, the sources do touch on the bigger picture, societally, potential job shifts, manual labor may be displaced.
But new tech jobs created.
Exactly, leading to this idea of a potential great reskilling. And also that U.S. versus China dynamic AI strength versus maybe hardware manufacturing dominance is playing out here too.
Okay, so wrapping this up, it feels like the sources show this incredibly exciting moment for humanoid robots, but wow, still some really significant real-world hurdles. Hardware, cost, safety rules.
Yeah, progress is fast, but the challenges are still pretty fundamental. These next few years, seeing if they can really prove themselves in these industrial settings, that seems critical based on everything we've read.
It really does.
Yeah.
So, okay, here's something to chew on, pulling from these sources. As these robots maybe, eventually, move from factories towards helping in places like healthcare, shops, maybe even our homes, what does that actually mean for, say, your future job? Or just how you interact with technology day to day? Does it change how we even think about what a colleague is? Definitely something to mull over.